Hola Mariana, buenas noches. Hey Hope, sorry for the. Muy bien, estoy. ¿Cómo estás tú, Mariana? Sorry for the delay. It's just that I was in a Zoom call with a client, and he first of all came in late. Like we had arranged a time, and he called me to say that he was late. So I had to rearrange the Zoom meeting, and then the connection got disconnected. So I had to log in again, but yeah, that's why I actually postponed a bit the live. I rescheduled it like for 9:30, but yes, I'm here, guys. So yeah. Hey Samara, actually, like this is like my relaxing time for you because usually when I have clients, this is not tarot related. This is counseling. Usually they do bring out very heavy subjects, heavy things. Um, and so yeah, it's nice to have this moment to disconnect with you from all the, you know. Maybe this is the reason why sometimes I value life so much, or I value so much the things that make me happy, because when you hear other people's stories about what they're going through, and when they are going through a moment that they cannot move on from that, or that they are transiting something difficult, that's when you realize how valuable life is, and that sometimes we our life is not that complex, or maybe what we feel as impossible is not that impossible. Like, there are people that are going through very harsh things, and I think that sometimes we forget that. I mean, I don't say it like, in your case, guys, because thank God we had shared a lot of beautiful things besides K-pop. But honestly, sometimes reading for K-pop related things makes me feel a bit like shallow inside, like, I feel like I put so much time and energy, and people just believe what they want to believe. And sometimes I want to introduce change to what I do, or I really put the best of me to be like very consistent, and just, the audience. I don't think that the audience is ready for deepness in K-pop, and sometimes is a bit like, is it's frustrating for me to be reminded of that over and over, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I hope that what I do resonates with them, or I hope that what I do makes their day, I don't know, a more entertaining, or happier. I don't know. And then I read certain comments, and I'm like, you guys don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough trying to bring awareness to the K-pop community. Then when something serious happens, everyone starts like feeling sorry and being empathic, and raising funds and money, but while they are in denial, while they are in their mob mentality, they don't see the consequences of what they do. The audience is probably in the process of maturity and their teenage years mentality. Yeah, Mm, they don't want to see the deeper side. Like I just sometimes I'm like, why guys cannot, like, why can't you be happy? I'm reading for a possible connection between two people that you say that you admire and love with all your heart. So sometimes I'm like, you guys are bitter inside. You say that you are like, and you know um, what actually like also is so annoying is that I respect your point of view. I also can learn from your point of view. But each person that has a tarot deck in their hands and is intently, with intention and willpower, pulling cards for an idol, that is your experience. I'm tired of people being like projecting themselves into the tarot reader of that they find. Oh, because my friend said that in this reading they saw this. Oh, my friend said this. Oh, I said this. Like, you know, I think that um, tarot reading, and I always say this, tarot reading is a practice. It's something that even though you do it for years, you are never ready enough. There's not enough exercise for it. It doesn't come with in a moment that you're like, okay, I've done it for 6 months in a row, so now I'm an expert. No, there's not such a thing like this. And also, the deeper the tarot reading is also the responsibility of the person that is reading. You have to understand, like I always tell you, tarot readings don't start happening just because. Just because I pull the card and I place it and that's it. Destiny is already happening. What I saw or predicted is already happening. No. You have to get out and live life, which these idols do. Sometimes when they are allowed, they go outside and they live life. Some of them do have a very routinary and busy life. Unfortunately, there's not much exciting things happening for them. But some of them are, interesting individuals, and you can see that there's something, important in there that they cherish of their experience. I think that being a tarot reader is not just like me hanging out with my friends and pulling cards for my bias. Actually, I don't read for my bias. I'm doing this exercise that I try to stay away from Utah's energy, and I'm sorry for the ones that are Utah stans that probably want me to read for him more often, but I'm like, since he's since he's my bias, I'm like, maybe I am too fond of him. Maybe I like him so much, so I don't know if I will be able to be, you know, objective. So I will read for him not so often. Such a nice reading for them to, yeah, because this is important for them. It seems from the cards that I got that it has potential. I cannot predict and being like, oh, because this is a proper relationship and they will be together forever. No, they're still figuring out, especially Jenny, with all the background that she has, with everything that we have seen happening to her, that girl, poor girl, is tough being her. So, but you know what? Despite of everything that people say, who was Taeyong's holding hands with? Whose hand was Taeyong holding? It was Jenny's. So whether you like it or not, you have a video. So it's it's a bit weird because I think that maybe for some fans it would be better to continuing creating like imaginary scenarios about how they would be like boyfriends. And when you have an actual scene in front of you, you don't appreciate it. You start seeing the fault in it. But when you have actual proof that this is a date, this is them on a date, you're like, oh, but that was a long time ago, and uh, France, they weren't in France because the day in France, and France actually, it's not that pleasant outside. Oh, you know, and I was like, okay. They all ask for dating news, but then freak out. Yeah, and that. Thank you so much, Leona, for calling it like it is. Dating news. No more dating scandal. It's not a scandal. They want you to know. They want you to know. And this is why I'm excited that it's them, because I have been saying it. I always am like, I don't want to hold receipts of what I said and what I didn't say. But sometimes I look at my past videos and I'm like, you said this, that this would happen. So why no one listens what I say? Like I was talking with because when in real life I actually like I do get people like giving me feedback. You gave me this reading, like it has passed 3 months, 6 months, and this happened, and I acted this way, and this develop another situation. I don't know. I want a new reading because for the last thing we saw. And in K-pop, I don't get that. In K-pop, it's like I give you blue, you want white. I give you red, you want, I don't know, purple. There's always a little bit extra, and you're not even paying me because you know that these readings are paid actually. So I'm tired of community service. I'm tired. I'm tired of the community service. How many tarot readers did you ask about? Oh, how would Taeyong be as a boyfriend? What type of girl would he go for? And Jenny as well. We were all talking about Kai, poor Kai. We were talking about their latest, like. I was like the other day. I was like, oh, what a pity that didn't work out. I was like, thinking about Kai and her. And then I get this news, and I'm like, oh well, this is awesome. I actually am very happy for Jenny. For the next season exchange. Charging for the live is the next change. Here you have to tip to get into the live. No, actually, but this is not, I believe that probably is the tarot community as a whole. I think that people think that for us it's just like it's nothing, to pull cards, to interpret the cards, because like I always mention this, for me reading cards is not just pulling cards. It's a whole preparation. I have to center myself to read for these people. I cannot be inside of myself. I always I always think about this, about the people that call themselves like channelers and you know, oh, I channel energy, and then there's others that say, oh, I'm a tarot reader. I believe I do channeling as well. And I use the cards as a tool to be like, okay, this is what I'm seeing. And channeling, it's also it's an exercise of the psyche, it's an exercise of your perception and your intuition. And also, tarot reading is not reading the plain the plain concept of or keyword and be like, oh, because this card represents this, I often have this, sometimes I do have this thing where sometimes I get very fixated on a king, for example, or a queen. And I'm like, oh, if this is source, this is probably an earth sign. This is once, oh, I'm sure this is a fire sign. But I often do this because sometimes, most of the times, I get it right. I actually, when I see the element, it's actually correspondent to astrology. And I use astrology, I apologize, but yes, in my tarot readings, I use astrology as well. You know, I should charge like extra also. But yeah, it's an exhausting job. But I don't know. I think that when you get it right, you are amazing. When you get what they want to hear, you're amazing. When you don't get their demands, you are awful. So I don't understand. I don't like people coming from the outside to disturb the people that I know, the people of my community. That sort of disrespectfulness, I also hate it. Because if you don't like it, there's tons of videos. There's tons of videos. But they like to compare. And that's also something that is a toxic trait, guys. A tarot reading, and I say this for people that are interested in learning about tarot reading. A tarot reading, you're supposed to read for that subject and then let it go. Move on with your life. It's like, oh, I heard this, that she did a reading about this. I'm going to watch this reading. Okay. She said this, this, this. Oh, look how interesting. Oh, wow, this is great. Let it go. Move on. Now, if you keep insisting on watching several videos of your biased personality tarot reading, it's very obvious that you are going to get different personality traits. I'm going to see something, the other tarot reader is going to say something, the astrologer is going to say something else, and what do you do with all that information? This is what I want to know. This is what I want you guys to reflect, that being addicted to searching for a meaning of someone that is not you, that is not that it helps you to become a better individual. No, it's something that, I don't know, I understand it, you are curious. But pick a side. Entertain yourself with the information. You want to be entertained? Great. Once you have that information, let it go. Let it go. So if a week from now you hear another tarot reader or you hear another astrologer talking about them, maybe your mind will be ready and will be empty enough to understand and listen intently and being very present and getting the other person's message. Tarot readings are not to compare and contrast. Each reader, it's a whole experience. That's why I cannot interpret what the other reader is reading, because first, that's disrespectful. because I already pulled the cards. The video, is edited, it's uploaded. Once I pull the cards, that's it. That was my moment with that energy, with their energy, or with that energy in particular. And one thing that is also very important is to understand that what is being said in the reading is what I was supposed to get in that moment. You have extra questions? You are going to go after another tarot reader to ask them to do the extra question, the extra expansion of do a bigger reading, do more cards, pull more cards. What for? That's your ego talking. Why do you need to know so bad? I don't know. I don't know, guys. But it's great because in these situations, people show their true colors. In these situations, people show their true colors. So I'm glad. Terrorists, many people still don't know because it takes a lot of energy. Yeah. Go for Jimmy next wife. It's you if you don't like an honest reading. And thank God we are talking about the dating news. Thank God. Thank God we are getting the dating news because I don't know people, I don't know how they're going to behave if this is like serious, like, you know. I got my social friend. Yeah, cheers. Cheers, guys. I knew you were going to get that reaction. Yeah, I know, Mariana, but I'm always this hopeless, and I blame this to my Jupiter in the first house. Um, that I'm a hopeless believer that people are learning something from this. We should celebrate these two are dating. I love it. I don't care what is the nature of the relationship and if it's going to last. But today, I chose for them. Because it's like Ant's reading. Aphrodite in his channel, he also did a reading. That I'm very happy because we got similar. We got similar, like, at the beginning, we got similar, like, uh, um, comment interpretations at the beginning, and I was like, oh, I got that right, and I was so excited, so I replied in the comment section. And I like the part where he said something very similar to what I said about that they will probably have this conversation where they will stand up or they stood up to their managers or their CEOs or whoever and was like, we're going to continue with this, whether you like it or not. And I love that. And I expect nothing less from these two people. That is called, like, you're not going to mess this that I have, because this that I have is mine. This is ours. So what are you going to do? Are you going to fire us? I don't think so. So who is the boss? I couldn't expect more. Like, I'm so proud of my two Capricorns. I usually don't support Capricorn matches because I personally, this is not the tarot or the astrology. This is me. Personally, I'm like, really? Two Capricorns together? But it seems like it worked. So, I should get myself a Capricorn. I'm dizzy as hell. Yeah, someone is saying on Discord that they saw some bad comments about me too. Yeah, that's why I deleted the whole, like, there was a debate in the comment section, and I was like, if you don't like, I said it at the beginning of the video. I said it, that's why people just don't listen. I said it. If you don't like the way I interpret things, if you don't like the tone of my voice, if you don't like the length of my videos, get out. Get out. That's why, it would be important to pay, to actually get people to pay to enter the video. So maybe if you are spending some dollars, you are going to feel like, like, oh, I just paid something for something that I didn't like or something that I didn't enjoy. But since it's free and you have it available and you want to listen because, the gossipy side is stronger than the actual, I just don't know how to talk to these people because I I was redundant, but I did all the clarifications before pulling the cards and after I finished the reading. Like, more ethical than that, I cannot be. I try to be as ethical as possible, but it seems that when you are dealing with these people, you just can never win. And that is sad because actually this was a beautiful reading for me to do. It was beautiful, guys. The way I felt, and I know that I'm supposed to stay with that feeling instead of worrying about what other people think. But I think that you know it's just so frustrating how people talk about self-awareness and freedom, but you don't apply it. You just bring it up when it's attached to your situation. So, like, there's no congruency in that you are promoting. That's what I was so like, oh my God. Like, like, because personally for me, if I don't like something, and guys, I have fully trust with you. You share links with me and we talk sometimes about certain like interpretations, and I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't like that reading that much, or oh no, I couldn't connect with what they were saying, and there were some things that, but I did put a like, I did, I interacted with that account, and I didn't like left it in the comment section. Oh, I didn't like it. Oh, I think that you are messing up here. No. Because just like I don't like it, there's a lot of people that do want it, that do enjoy it. So who are you to rate an experience that maybe for someone else is going to make their day? Because actually, no, guys, I could have pulled, like, I don't know, I don't consider cards to be negative. For me, all of them have information. It's nor negative nor positive. But I could have gotten, like I said, uh, cards that indicate, I don't know, duality, being double-faced, being a liar, being a deceiver, being totally like on the clouds without not knowing much. No, these guys have direction. Maybe, yes, Jenny is a bit lost. Jenny is a bit like, her energy is a bit like, but she sees him and she sees strengths. So I celebrate that. because I'm sure that for her this had been a long journey of trying to find not the man of her dreams, but just a partner. We all need a partner, even idols. And they found each other. So we have to celebrate that they found each other. Then the details, who cares? Like some fans say, and I do respect this a lot. This is why I'm not saying that it's all the fans that are this way. No. There are fans that are just lovely. But then there are some that just question the dumbest things. That is like, oh, this is how you think? Like, oh my God. Like, really? This is how you transit life? Because I don't think Jenny and, and Taeyeon are going to see my reading. But I feel like I done something for the fans. There are people that want to know about them. And I was able to see a picture through the cards. Like I always say, I'm reading cards. I'm not like telling you that I know them, and I have the tea. No, I picked on energies. And this is something that also you should have into consideration if you consider yourself a reader. Energies change all the time. Relationships change all the time. Circumstances change all the time. Life changes all the time. So, let's flow with the information. If you don't like it, if you don't like the information, don't watch it, don't consume it. There's always this right to not consume. If you are bored and you're like, oh my God, this is taking forever, I don't like it. Those people don't listen, they talk, there's no behind their mind. But I'm happy, guys. I'm happy, and I'm like, I don't even know these people. I'm happy for peace. Like, and I also, you cannot fool me because I am a big fan of Taeyoung's manager. That actually, I used to think that when I was in army, I used to think that he was the bodyguard because he would always wear black. But actually, no, I believe he's his personal manager. And I've always found him like very much my type, like beautiful, like I don't know. There's something about the feature of his face, how he's so serious and concentrated. But sometimes when he's with Tay, that is most of the time, he smiles a lot. He smiles with Tay, and it seems like he gets Tay. Like there's a camaraderie in there. So I like that guy. So when I saw that guy next to him, I was like, that's the manager. That's the cute manager. You cannot fool me. I was reflecting. I was talking today with my army friend. And I was like, remember when Taeyong, when he accidentally followed Jenny on Instagram? Remember when that happened? How, when was it? Like 5 months ago? 6 months ago. Oh, no, Samara, no. No, Samara. You are my moderator, my only mod here. Who's going to moderate the chat if you are dizzy? Yeah, remember he accidentally twitched. Yeah. But we weren't buying it. Remember that we talked about it. There was a moment that we talked about it. And we were like, really? Really? Like, I just, I still aware, don't worry. It, it reminds me when Simbi asked a fan if she went to the fan side for children or the manager. Sometimes they do have good managers. Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, full of ish. I don't know, guys. I'm smelling a collab. I'm smelling a collaboration of some sort. You know, they had been like, JK was in Coachella. He also was part of JK, CK as an ambassador. Of course, that's a personal and professional, decision. But, you know, then what else? What moment did? Also, Jenny had this brief moment with Park So-hoon where they took a picture, and she also took a picture of him and shared it on her Instagram. So there's some closeness in this. I believe that I'm starting to see a pattern. They know people, they have people in common. They're slowly like, their circle, the cycle is getting closer. It's like, but I want to collab. I want to collab. People say he was testing the water. To be honest, when he was at the airport, I know he was up to something. Have you seen, Leona, the TikTok that I sent? The one, yes, the one of him smirking. Oh my God, the way I laughed with that. I shared it with my army friend, and she was like, oh my God, like the captions. And actually, I just learned something that actually that is the way Jenny walks. Remember that when I first saw the video, I was like, is that how Jenny walks? I don't know why I thought that she would walk differently. I don't know, model-like. But yeah, because the poor girl is always in heels and at events. But I was like, that's how Jenny doesn't walk like that. What do I know? But I don't know why. I was like, that's not Jenny. Jenny doesn't walk like that. And she does walk like that. But also, to be honest, like I'm going to do some self-reflection here. When I usually walk hand in hand with my significant other, I usually am very awkward walking as well. So if you would record me, you would be like, "What's wrong with Vanessa? Why does she walk like that?" Because I usually like, I don't know why, I tend to lean a lot on the other person. Usually I date like taller people, taller than me. So I use them like this sort of like, I don't know, I just lean on them, or they are the one that, make the bigger steps. So I try to match, but I walk funny, as I've been told. Yeah. They said that's his women. Someone who is an Aquarius, but he's, yeah, Samara. When I saw the Two of Cups in there, I tried to contain my. I was like, oh, he has feelings. He has feelings. He has feelings. He has feelings. He fell fast. He fell fast. I mean, it's Jenny, come on. But in her case, I think that she's a bit more like, a bit more like cautious. Probably, I don't think it's cautious. Cautious is the word. I think that she has fears. She's like a bit like, oh, what if something goes wrong? Or what if I get attached to him and suddenly he has to leave, or he has to leave me, or he has to, I believe that she's very much aware of the impact of this, and she had seen it before. So I think that for her, this is it's a very tough moment. It's probably she has that fear of abandonment, like I said in the reading, of what if he leaves? So maybe that's why she doesn't connect with emotions, or at least I didn't see it, but definitely there's a rush in her, definitely she wouldn't mind, like if things would. I think that she, in this sense, the one that is a bit more proactive is him. Her, she's much more like adapting to his rhythm, and probably she feels a bit overwhelmed by his, like, do you love me already? Like, like, but yeah, I mean, it's a Capricorn thing. It's a Capricorn thing. It's honestly because we got a realistic view of what we need in a relationship. Jenny has been attacked before. She's scared as hell. Yeah. Yeah, in Anne's reading, she got the Eight of Swords. So, very much. And Tay, he got the Devil card, but in reverse. That also talks about attachment, and feeling like you are not free to make a decision, or attached to things, exterior forces of, so you cannot set yourself free. But since it's in reverse, probably for him, he's much more rebellious. He's like, yeah, I acknowledge that maybe this is a risky move from me, but I like it. I want it. Like, I really. Yeah, he does. She needs to catch up. She's hesitated, it seems, but I think she still wants that long-term relationship. Did you pull cards for them, Leona? I know you said, but can you give a little bit more of details now that we are talking about it? I put my pink colors to represent Blackpink. I'm like, no, and also because, today it's Friday, so it's a Venusian. It's a day that is ruled by Venus. Jupiter is in Taurus as well. We are slowly, the new moon is also in Taurus. So there's a lot of Venusian in the air. So, and well, I believe we are very close to end the Taurus season, but Jupiter is going to stay with us for a while. So yeah, let's embrace this growth, this pleasure, this beauty. Let's connect with beauty. Let's connect with aesthetic things. Let's be pretty. Let's be in love. Let's be in love. I did pull cards. I can't find my reading, but I got how she thinks. Oh, the Five of Pentacles and the Hermit. Wow. Yeah, I definitely see her, like, for example, pulling away or trying to, you know, like, do you get these people that, for example, everything is going well in the first days and everything dates, and all of a sudden this person like ghosts you or disappears because they are afraid, or maybe they feel like they are not ready to take the commitment. I definitely sense that Jenny could she could like do something like that, and probably if she doesn't have like she does it like a sort of test to see if the other person is going to go after her. You know, if the other person is going to insist on wanting her back. But she does fear abandonment. Yeah, she probably also doesn't feel worthy of being loved. You know, that's why I was like, you always have to think about both sides of the relationship. This is not about a certain guy or, you know, BTSB or Blackpink Jenny. This is about two individuals, two separate people. They have their history. They are much more than idols. You know, they have a background. They have a history. So, you know, when you are in a relationship, that's when the real traumas and the expectations, the dreams, the fears, everything comes in display at that moment of intimacy. You know, so it can go very well, or you can actually mess it or ruin it because of insecurities. So that's why I was like, let's not jump into, we of course we do not have any confirmation. I don't think we will, but you know, there's potential. It's just that I think that people shouldn't take literally every step that they make about like, oh, this confirms that they are together, or this doesn't confirm that they are together. So because it's not about clues, this is an everyday decision. This is a relationship in progress. Sometimes relationships endure, sometimes relationships are successful and they go very well, and sometimes, you know, the relationship it's a bit, you know, it's a bit rocky. You know, there's someone that wants to break up, there's someone that wants to reclaim their freedom, there's someone that is always busy, there's someone that probably, you know, is not willing to make the effort to go see you. The crazy fans, if we add the crazy fans as well, you know, so we have to let them live, transit this. You have other members, like go fantasize with the others. But, and honestly, now that I see B, I, I wonder how many others are. I have the perception that there's other BTS members that they do have their significant other and everything. It's just that it's very well hidden. It's very well hidden, and it's probably paid as well. And I think that there was something about this that they were like threats or something like, oh, we're going to expose you or something like that. And they were like, no, you're not going to expose me because I'm going to expose myself. It's about them taking control. I would ask you to pull cards for me, but I'm tipsy as hell. Maybe I'll lose one. Yeah, not. I'm not pulling cards now. I'm also drinking. So I know she feels independent, but it does feel like she's scared, and also that lacks. But she got the Wheel of Fortune for feelings, so she does feel like new chapter. Yeah, her feelings can change at any minute. Yeah. She's a Venus in Pisces. I mean, I am a Venus in Pisces, guys. I act like, oh, nothing moves me, like I'm this tough person or this strong Capricorn, but I am a romantic at heart, you know. Right, she's worried about it not being worth it. Samara has, I seen tips. Tipsy are reading quite honest and funny. He got the Page of Swords and Ten of Pentacles, so for me he's a bit more on the defensive. Also fan base hating. But Pentacles, he got the Fool for feelings. So love this new risk. Yeah, that Venus in, yeah. that Venus in Aquarius is very adventurous. Definitely. Yeah. But, this is something that I was like, it does make sense that even though maybe in feelings he's a bit like, he can change a bit or be unexpected, but he got a lot of pentacles. And it also reminds me that he's a Mars in Capricorn. So I'm like, yeah, he's much, with his actions towards her, he does let her know that, I'm here because of you. I'm here because I like you. Like, I want you to be mine, And also, let's not forget that Mars in Capricorn is very territorial. It's very possessive. Not possessive creepy or not possessive stalker like a Scorpio placement would do, but they are very firm. Once they want you, they let you know, and you have to give them an answer. Like, are you okay with it or not? Because, I'm interested. I'm willing to put the work. I'm willing to put the effort. And I'm going to be consistent. So definitely, and Ant definitely did mention this about seeing Tay's energy being possessive. Like somehow claiming her like his woman. Like Samara said. This is my woman. Very old fashioned, but yeah. Yeah, maybe with his Venus in Aquarius, we are like, oh, but he believes in, freedom and everything. Yeah, but don't forget about the Capricorn moon in there, Capricorn Mars in there. He's like, she's mine. She's with me. She's with me. So she's an extension of myself. Yeah, and also, yeah, probably, yeah, because Aquarius also has a Saturnian kind of, yeah, that's very important also, Samara. Sometimes we are like, oh, but Aquarius, all about freedom and oh, we are all equals. But I think that the Venus in Aquarius, even though they can be eccentric and original and everything, they can be very possessive as well. So, not in the creepy way, that's what I want to say, not in the creepy way, but definitely it surprises you how sure they are that, I'm not hesitating, that you are the one that I want. And I feel that probably for Jenny, it's like, oh my God, is he talking to me? Probably, I feel that probably, they started as friends. I totally I can agree with that perception of them starting as friends or as acquaintances. Like first starting like to get to know each other through other people, with other people in the middle, and then someone made their way to the other and they started talking about the things that they have in common, how stressed they are, how this life, definitely they have a lot of things in common, besides them, both of them being Capricorn. But yeah, friends is the way to go, definitely. And for Jenny as well, because Jenny has Mars in Aquarius and Mercury in Aquarius. So she's also, she's a hard catch as well, even though she has a Venus in Pisces, she can be romantic and everything, but at the same time, she's very free as well, she's like, she can be unexpected as well. Fixed sign nature, but I said that having Leo. Oh, Mars conjunct Venus. Oh, that's hot. I don't know if that's hot, Mariana. I don't know. I mean, honestly, if I think about it, I dated some Aries moons, and they are very attractive. Into my eyes, they are very attractive.
their attitude is very straightforward. It's like if they want you, they let you know. You know, they are like, okay, let's see each other. Like, when are you available? Like tomorrow, let's see each other tomorrow. Like they are so like in your face, you know, and you're like, oh my god, what do you want? Like, hold on a minute. But they mean well. I mean, in the sense that they are true to what they're feeling. So if you add that Tay is a Capricorn, that in that he has that stability, you know, that's why I was getting like reflecting on this when I pulled the cards. He looks very slow, like, you know, and in the last lives that I pulled cards for him, he got a lot of Taurus cards. I remember he got the cards of defense. Remember, guys, that he got from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun about all the cards that I pulled for him at the end. He got the card of defense. That I believe that it was Mars in Taurus, defense. So he's a guy that he's going to fight back the criticism or whoever by resisting to change, being as stubborn as possible, being annoyingly slow. It's like, you want me to make a decision about this? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. And you cannot move him. You cannot move him. I love him. Hey, Blue, or Bleu, I don't know how to pronounce it. Armies are always saying B would never go for a girl like Jenny, and yet his Venus is in Aquarius. Those people crave differences. Pretty sure V likes the wild side of Jenny. Yeah. Yeah, Blue, definitely. It's just that, you know, we know this is like I believe Hope said this. We often think that we know what our idol or favorite member or bias knows, or what they are attracted to. But then we see it's like ourselves. You know, we can have a sort of ideal, but then when reality happens, when we are in front of the person, when we hang out with the person, that's in that interaction, that's when we realize if we are a match for each other, or if we are starting to see a potential in that person or something attractive in that person that we haven't seen before. You know, so I think that's also like, and honestly, like, Jenny is, for me, accordingly for me, if I was an idol, as famous and prestige and everything, Jenny is a lot of idols' ideal type. She is a beautiful female. She's a lot of people's dream girl, dream person. So I would definitely be like, yeah, please, I want Jenny. Everyone wants Jenny, actually. And that's why the haters are always going to hate on her. Because she doesn't have to put the effort to get the popular guy. She doesn't have to put the effort. The things happen. Probably she gets their phone numbers, she gets the invitations, she has to filter all of these people. Because are these powerful men? Yes, they are. Does she know that they are powerful? Yes, she knows. I mean, I'm proud of Jenny. She has a great taste. Like despite of, you know, that the whole that we just the fact that they are together or that they are seeing each other, it doesn't mean that it's going to be successful. But I see the potential here. I see potential. And I actually want them to be happy. But, you know, they could have chosen be happy with a regular person or with someone that we never seen their faces before. And we will be like, oh, did you know that they're dating so and so? Oh, we don't know their face, but oh yeah, we're so happy for them. In this case, no, we are happy. We know. You know who this member is of this famous group? You know the girlfriend is that girl of that famous group. So you have the potential of seeing them separately and seeing them, oh, she looks good, oh, he looks good. You know, it's a nice experience actually. You want to do a tipsy tarot reading according to my from no. Someone sent me an essay about no. Someone sent me an essay saying that B or BTS would never date celebrities or be open about. Oh wow. So, oh, the essays are the best. Yeah, the whole like if you have to write an essay about it, like who are you trying to convince? And Moon and Aries are so patient, never would. B is basically playing games, and I love it. I love him. Aries Moon and Scorpio Moon is a dangerous and fiery combo. Yeah, Blue. Definitely. Definitely. I want them to have pretty babies together. I want them to have pretty babies together. Hey Jamie, can you please put it in the comment section? I will pull cards for them on Sunday. That today I am drinking, I'm having fun, I'm hanging out here. I'm not planning on pulling cards, but on Sunday I can do it, okay? So please, if you can, put it in the comment section so I don't forget. Imagine men suburban because of alcohol, but we tipsy. No, I don't do that. No, I'm a lady. I don't do that. I don't do that. I actually, with the way I am so like self-conscious, I could be an idol, like very well, because I'm always like very, like I try to, like restrict with my manners and everything. But that has to do with you working with people. Like you know, you have to be a robot. I just hit my head on the bed frame. Love Jenny, and I'm woman. She's so precious. She makes me laugh so much. It's like she makes it her duty to make Kpop fans cry. She's leaving it. Yeah, exactly, Blue. She's leaving, and they are already mad. It's like she didn't do anything wrong. Like she is beautiful and desirable. Like, what do you want? Like, I don't know. Like, a neat girl, a visual girl dating a visual guy. This is heaven. This is, the match of the matches, and we could have another combo. I don't know. A little comment. Okay. Wish B and hello Gisela. Wish B and Jenny the best. I would love for them to appear at an event together to confirm that date. That would be so the president of harmonizing others dating. I would. You know what I was thinking? I was like, there could be like like a Jenny event or a Blackpink event, and be showing up. Be showing up. Possibly bringing some friend along, not him only, but him showing up. Like I said, I think that they are already getting us used to the idea of seeing them being in the same room. Because you know that JK was at Coachella. He was at Coachella while Blackpink was performing. With this, I'm not saying that they are friends, no. But I think that there's like a lot of coincidences, of them like, being seen with people that are close to them. So... And shippers are saying that those in the video from Paris are all cosplayers, even the managers. Oh my god! I mean, if they are, I would give them an Oscar. Like, why? Like, But this is the thing. I honestly think that as community, I wonder why we cannot enjoy things without having these people trying to, like, somehow like bring the mood down. Because if you don't like it, if you don't agree with this, if you think otherwise, then don't engage with these people that they are, I don't know, showing it because they are happy or they are sharing a message. You know, I think that is very sad. And I think that this is, we went through a loss not so long ago in K-pop. So, what do you want out of these poor people? I sometimes I don't understand, guys. And honestly, I have been doing this community, this tarot reading channel, for like almost 2 years. I have responsibilities. I have a job outside of this. I have other things to do, but I'm always excited to be creating content, readings, for the people that are K-pop stans, and because I'm so grateful that I became a multi-stan, or I was able to meet a lot of groups and appreciate them because of all the readings that I have been doing for a lot of years. Not, I wouldn't say a lot, but I have been doing a lot of videos if you observe my channel, and it definitely makes me happy. It makes me happy when you connect with the meaning, when you laugh at my ranting, or when you, I don't know, when you came to a realization about yourself because of whatever subject or topic of conversation we're having. I love it. I actually feel very passionate about this. So I wonder, why can't we appreciate the good things when they are happening? Why do we have to lose it all or be in despair to actually learn to appreciate what we have today? And Oscar, some journalist in Paris said B will be at Cannes too. Imagine Jenny taking him with her to the Idol premiere. Your dreams might come true sooner than you think. I mean, he's possessive. He could show up. He could show up to send a statement. With B, you have to observe his actions. Everything he does, it has a purpose, slowly but surely. Idols are humans too. I don't understand why fans don't let them live a normal life, have fun, go out, be in love, date. I mean, the people that would be cosplayers would have to be rich because there was brand clothing. The jacket B was wearing is 3K alone. Oh my God. That's why, guys, let's laugh. Let's laugh and let's just, I don't know, now I want the other BTS members to, I love the boys, I love BTS. This is something that I think that sometimes I don't mention this enough. I came to know K-pop because of BTS. That I wouldn't say like, oh, BTS saved my life and whatever. But BTS content came into my life when I was going through a mourning process, and while I was doing therapy, and while I was doing great, and I was recovering and everything. I needed something, you know, when you watch TV or when you watch, I remember I was done like ending, studying, and I was like, putting the books away, finally not having to watch lectures and all those boring academic things. And I was like, I just want to sit and watch something and forget about, the realistic side of life, the obligations. And then I came across a BTS MV that actually it was like, when you have these ads that are these MVs that you cannot skip. I mean, that you can skip, but in this case, I let it play. And I was like, oh my, who are these? Like, I was very like, I was like, why do they have their hair color like that if they are Asians? Like, for me, it was a whole discovery I didn't understand. Um, and and I was like, oh my God, these colors, the MV, the music, and I was like, oh, there are so many members. There were only 7, and I was like freaking out because there's so many people in here. Thank God I didn't watch an EXO video. I was freaking out because I was seeing 7 members, a 7-member group. And I just, continue watching. And I remember one night I stayed I think I began at 9 and I stayed up until 3 a.m. watching their whole MVs. It was great, great. It was a great experience. Wait for Jimmy. You mean dating together? Or? For some reason, I truly believe that once Jenny and B go fully public, we will see more and more couples, or at least interactions. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Hey, what about the Venus square Saturn? You mean like an individual chart? Square Saturn. It could be like a Venus in Capricorn. I mean, they both have different special ones. Yeah, please make the clarification, Mariana, because the chicooks are going to come for you. I don't do synastrism. I don't know much about synastry. Like, I mean, I have get it mine down, but I never like study for it. Is the room supposed to spin? No, Samara is not. Are you laying on your back watching this? I don't believe in karmic relationships. I mean, yeah, I know the concept. I know what you mean with karmic relationship. But I think that saying karmic relationship is very heavy. Like, honestly, I feel it like even when I say karmic, I'm like, oh my God, like, it sounds like too much responsibilities. I think that, yes, maybe the message when it's a square is about, trying to deal with the challenging aspects in a synastry, in the sense that probably it's going to be challenging and both of you are going to have your differences, like a lot of resistance. That is not going to be that fluent, But also in the resistance, there's also the attraction. There's also the pull, the magnet, the magnetism, that reason why you cannot get away from that person. So somehow a square it's also like very interesting when it comes to love because it makes you feel uncomfortable, so you can learn to adapt. That sometimes, yeah, relationship can be challenging, but also maybe if you put enough effort, it can be a great relationship. It can be a great relationship. Um, Sometimes when people, there's a lot of sextiles and conjunctions and everything, it seems like you are dating yourself, because somehow it gets predictable how well and smooth things are going, and but yes, it can create a friction, but I wouldn't say like, because for me, when I say karmic, and I know that in astrology definitely there's this concept of karmic relationship, for me, in my perception, I feel a very heavy weight when I say karmic, especially because I have a lot of Capricorn placements. I have a lot of heavy, like I have a Capricorn Sun and Rising. So if I would have to see my Capricorn and Saturnian energy as karmatic, I think I would go crazy. And honestly, I don't want to use that word, because I'm like, you have a choice, right? When you say karmatic, it seems like game is over. That this is how things are going to go. And I always like to stay optimistic and see that there's a potential for you to break free if this is necessary. Like, you can learn and move on. Like, there's not like karma. Yeah, actually, how the tech cookers just made merch. I know they're mad. Tech cookers delusional. They still think Jungkook somehow is with B in Paris right now. Mm. Karmic relationship are supposed to teach you something about yourself. It doesn't mean it's bad. Yeah. Mm. It's just that, you know, it's like the shadow side, the shadow aspect of a tarot reading, of a tarot card. It's the same. Um, any connection that you have with others is definitely going to affect the way you view yourself. That's why I always like tell people, I'm not like saying like, oh, you definitely have to be in a relationship or in a committed relationship or get married to learn about yourself. But if we want to talk about relationships, love, connections, we need to experience it. We need to experience it. Because sometimes even a couple, I had some synastry done. And also like the composite chart done with my ex back then. And we had the best placements and sextiles and conjunctions, and it was like a match made in heaven in astrology wise. Even in the astrological Chinese zodiac, we were a match, because he was a dragon. He was born in the year of the dragon, and I was a rat. So we were compatible even in that. And actually, you know what happens with all that information? It didn't save the relationship. Because it's not, and we both were into astrology. It's not that I was the only one, like, oh, let's go get our chart done. No. We actually were both very invested in it. We used to, like, go and also get tarot readings together because we were so curious about it. Because in every aspect, we were compatible. But when it comes to real life, like you really, like being face to face every day, facing relationship issues and challenges, there's no synastry that can save you from who you would become when you are with that person. Even the things and the personality traits that you claim that you have, when you are in a relationship, you change. You are not the same person. Even the people around you is going to say like, what happened to you? Why are you different when you are with your significant other? Because we change. Because we change. Because we are in love. Or because, I don't know, we are attracted to that person. So suddenly we become like someone and a stranger even to ourselves. So this is, this is something that I was like reflecting on at the beginning. It's like sometimes it's like it's great to have, a astrological analysis, chart analysis, like tarot reading. But at the end, what matters the most is what you do with that information. How do you apply it to your real life? Because it sure is not a map to happiness. It's not a map that you are like, oh, I have this compatibility, like, let's go, let's get married, like here, because the chart says, you know, is because we people, unfortunately, we people, we mess it up. We mess it up. even even in then they tell you in those compatibility charts the things you have to overcome in the relationship. Yeah. Yeah. It's just that you change. That's why sometimes maybe when you are in a relationship you connect more with your Venus, for example. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm a Capricorn, but I have Venus in Pisces. So I don't know. Maybe when I'm in a relationship, I become this very Piscean person in the eyes of the other person. I become this very soft and feminine and very romantic, And like I want the fairy tale, and I want you to, create this fantasy around me, like, and I'm very dreamy. And that also can happen, or also I can turn into a big like enemy and nightmare because of my moon in Scorpio is showing, and I can be a totally like nightmare when it comes to relationships. But thank God I'm not a stalker. I'm not a stalker. I don't stalk people. Like, I know, no. Actually, the more I like the person, the more I prefer, the mystery. I prefer not knowing much about them. I don't pull cards for them. I don't get tarot readings. I don't get compatibility readings. I just go with the flow of what they make me feel when I am close to them. And then when I at the end, after dating, I'm like, oh, you had all these placements. Oh, it makes sense why I was attracted to you at the beginning and everything. But yeah, relationship is complex. Actually, the charts are made to transcend the chart to truly love someone and love yourself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a reality. It's like, what do you do with all that information? Because we all want a fairy tale. We all want this perfect relationship or this perfect someone, But what are you willing to give of yourself to have that? What do you have to offer as a partner? No, it's okay. You have all this list about what you want in the other person, but what about you? What do you bring to the table of the relationship? No, it's complex. It's really complex, and like I'm telling you from my perspective that for me, when I started really young, when I started dating, I was very egotistic. I was very like stuck up, like very centered in myself, and like, oh, okay, if a guy shows interest in me, he's supposed to do all these things to please me and to make me have a good time, because I'm amazing. And I had, that sort of ego. That's why, you know, I'm not saying like I was born awake, awoke. I wasn't born with that, But actually, I think that it definitely has to do with that I had met people that were very willing to please me. And that also talks about the other person, like, okay, like I was being, I don't know, stubborn or selfish or just, I don't know, unpleasant. But what did you do to stop me? Like, did you put some boundaries? Did you let me know that, oh, I'm not comfortable with the way you're talking to me or the way you're demanding things? I don't feel comfortable. No, they would stay anyway. They would stay anyway. So that also sends a message. Because if you stay anyway, because, you know, sometimes we push to see how much the person is going to give in. If you make the other person like get used to the idea that they push and you give in, then don't expect me to respect you. I don't bring the dinner. I don't have this. I bring my presents, says Mariana. Samara, are you okay? I'm never getting drunk like this ever again. Oh no. I just forgot what Jenny said. What did you say? I don't bring the dinner. Yeah. I bring money to the table, not your dinner. That one. That one, Mariana. Yeah, you can request it on the comment section under this video. Because today I'm not pulling cards because I'm having alcohol, so I don't pull cards when I'm drinking. But Sunday at 10 a.m. my time, Argentinian time, I'm going to be doing the live and pulling some cards. I think being Jenny also bonded over the fact that they like weird things and don't judge each other. Like their love of aliens and unicorns. Venus in Pisces and Aquarius actually go well together. Yeah, definitely. I also thought about that. Yeah. But the dinner was in the lyrics, Mariana. It's like, I bring money to the table, not your dinner. Why do I know this? I'm not a blink. Maybe because it's like one of the few English parts. Okay, guys. It's been almost an hour and a half that I have been talking with you here, and here is getting very cold all of a sudden. So yeah, I'm going to go. It was so much fun, like hanging out with you. It was great. But yeah, I'm going to go and relax and disconnect a bit because today was a very long day. But definitely, I want to thank you, and also I do appreciate that you're here. I know that it's also going to be your weekend very soon in a few hours, or you are already on Saturday. So I do appreciate the support that you're here, that we are sharing, and that you always see my rantings. And actually, they are not runs. It's just part of my process dealing with this, you know. But I often, like, I am very thankful for the people that are always very respectful and nice, and I always choose my content, even though they have other possibilities or they have other likes. So I actually do appreciate that you stay with me, you know. um, and I learn a lot from you guys. Like, this is not, you know, even though my my channel is really small, but everything that I had created, it has a small piece of you as well. You know, every request, every opinion, you know, every idea, every suggestion, everything is part of what I created so far. So that's why I also want to recognize you. And yes, that there are moments that I feel like some things are pointless. I'm like, oh, what am I doing this for? Sometimes I'm like, you know, why am I doing this for? But then I remember that you guys are part, and I'm like, yeah, this is why I'm doing this. So yeah, today we have this, and yeah, let's celebrate love. That's all we can do, and that's what we're going to do. At least that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, let's wait for some other idol dating confirmation in the future, because I want to celebrate a bit more. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Bye.